Day 4 of NFL free agency is here, but first, before we get into the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors, wanted to give a round of applause for 44,000 subscribers. We crossed that milestone yesterday. You guys are awesome, but I do know there are a lot of you that still haven't subscribed. I would encourage you guys to do so. Obviously, you can do whatever you want, but free Bears videos, news, rumors. If you want to support this show, the easiest thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. It's free. We don't charge a dime on this channel. All we do is ask for engagement and entertain you guys. That's pretty much what this comes down to. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. The road to 45,000 subs is underway. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Today's episode of Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. March Madness is here, and if you don't want things looking mad downstairs when your girl is trying to get down and dirty, well, get the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped, manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. That's going to get you 20% off plus free shipping. Trust me, Manscaped is going to take care of all your men's grooming needs. Okay, let's get into the latest Bears free agency news and rumors. Another Bear has signed with another team. We'll get to that later on in the show, but I think it's important to talk about the biggest story in the NFL and how it impacts the Bears, and that, of course, is the Deshaun Watson trade watch. We're all on Watson trade watch to see what he's going to do. What is the young superstar quarterback going to decide, as he is reportedly down to two teams? He is reportedly choosing between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. So we're all waiting to see where Deshaun Watson ends up in 2022. And it's important to discuss because if he, obviously he's not coming to the Bears, but if he does end up in Atlanta, that could impact the Bears in a variety of ways. Here's the deal. Once Watson makes a decision, more moves will happen in the NFL, with the Bears, with just everything. You see this in big free agencies all the time, like the NBA free agency a couple of years ago. Things slowed down as Kawhi Leonard was taking his time. Then he got traded signed with the Clippers. They traded for Paul George. A bunch of things happened. I think a similar impact can happen here as well. It just comes to Watson choosing, and then some big-name players are going to start signing with some other teams. So where is Watson going to go? Predict it for us. It's down to these two teams. Type Saints, type Falcons. Which team will land Deshaun Watson? And we should mention as well, those are both NFC teams. So the Bears will likely have to face him, throughout the next several years from time to time, regardless of where he ends up. Type Saints if you think it's New Orleans. Type Falcons if you think it's Atlanta. Another reason this is important. If Watson chooses Atlanta, Terron Armstead could land in Chicago. Now, if Watson chooses New Orleans, there is a major belief that the Saints will re-sign Terron Armstead to help protect Deshaun Watson. So this does directly impact the Bears, at least in a possible type of way. Now, we've talked about Armstead here. Great player, but he's got injury history. We outlined this recently on Chicago Bears Now. Since he's entered the league, he's missed a lot of games. Last year, missed 9 games. The year before, or 2 years prior, he was pretty healthy. 2018, missed 6 games. 2017, same deal. 2016, only played in 7 games, meaning he missed 9. 14 and 15, he was pretty healthy. 2013, I don't really factor. That was his rookie year. He wasn't really a starter yet. But since he's been a full-time starter in 2014, basically 4 out of the 8 seasons, he's missed 6 games or more. He averages about 11 games played per year since he's been a starter, meaning he misses about 5 or 6 games. Look, if he's healthy, he's a game changer. He is an all-pro caliber left tackle that can protect Justin Fields. I'm not saying I wouldn't consider taking a chance on him. I'm just saying you guys need to be aware that he has an injury history, and guys typically when they get older, especially on the offensive line, they don't get healthier. It usually stays the same or gets worse on the injury front. Doesn't mean that would happen, but the injury history is there, and we must acknowledge that. That'll lead me to this question. Would you gamble and sign Terron Armstead? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Would you take a chance and bring him in here again? A lot of this depends on what Deshaun Watson ends up doing. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments section. All right, story number 2, a former Bear signing with the rival Green Bay Packers. Pat O'Donnell, the punter, has landed in Green Bay. I kind of got a sense, and we talked about this the other day, Brad Biggs reported that he could be leaving in free agency. I thought this could happen as well. He lands with the Packers, so he is gone. But, you know, he was like middle of the pack in punt average. It's not like he was a superstar, but he's been your punter since 2014, so you got to replace him. And you also got to replace Jakeem Grant as your primary returner. Maybe that's Daz Newsome. I think Khalil Herbert could handle those duties on kickoffs, but you still need a punt returner for the 2022 season, so we'll have to wait and see who that ends up being. So 2 of your specialists are gone. You still have Cairo Santos. You brought back Patrick Scales. By the way, the Bears earlier today, I'm blanking on his name, but they released their backup long snapper that they signed to a futures deal about a month ago, so that'll probably clear, $500,000 in salary cap space. More stories to come here on Chicago Bears Now, but March Madness is here, and you want to keep your basketball clean downstairs. Trust me, your wife doesn't want to be upset. Don't get upset like teams will in the NCAA tournament. Get going with Manscaped. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the best ball hair trimming product on the market, and you can get it for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. All you got to do is plug in promo code BEARS20. That is promo code BEARS20 when you get going. Manscaped.com. Use that promo code. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the best men's grooming product on the planet because it's got 4 adjustable guards. It's waterproof. You can use it in the shower. It's got a nice light on the end, so if there's some spots that are tough to reach, you can do that as well. Wireless charging station. It's fantastic. 20% off. Gets it down to a reasonable price there. I've been using mine for a long time now, and it's still working as good as ever. Manscaped.com. Promo code is BEARS20. Let's get to our next story here for Chicago Bears Now. Darnell Mooney, Justin Fields, yeah, they're getting that work in out in Georgia. They were seeing little video clips surfaced online. Wasn't really able to screenshot a photo there, and for copyright reasons, couldn't use that video. So a couple of photos here of Fields and Mooney from this past year. Obviously, a lot of reason to be excited about this duo moving forward, and they are seen working out in Georgia, getting in some reps together as Mooney's running some routes. Fields throwing some passes to him, so that's nice to see. They both talked about that at the end of the season, that they were going to sync up together down in Georgia and get some work in, and that has obviously proven to play out here. So that's exciting. I think this pairing is going to be really good with one another. I think Fields and Mooney showed last year they already have a good connection. Mooney's a deep threat. Fields is a good deep ball thrower, and they were able to connect on a lot of those deep crossing routes as well. I think this unit is going to be really, really good moving forward, and I'm obviously really excited about both these guys playing together. Darnell Mooney had a 1,000-yard season in year 2 as a 5th-round pick. This is one of Ryan Pace's better picks as the GM of the Chicago Bears. I think he can build off this season, had 6 touchdowns in 2020 as well, so he's done some really good things since coming over. Obviously, we all want to know if he can be a true number 1 receiver. We know he's a really good number 2. Maybe he becomes a number 1. I at least think that's a possibility. Now, predict his stats, Darnell Mooney's stats, for 2022. You saw the numbers last year. Maybe he gets up to 1,200 yards and, 7 or 8 touchdowns instead of 4. If he does something like that, he could enter wide receiver 1 type of status. Now, obviously, his quarterback, Justin Fields, is looking to build on a up-and-down rookie campaign where he certainly showed signs of greatness, but obviously showed that he was a rookie as well. He has some things to learn and improve on, but I fully expect him to do that, having a full offseason, knowing he's the starter, getting those reps with Mooney, and hopefully some other weapons soon as well, which is obviously, the focus in free agency and in the draft. You got to get a couple more guys that Fields can get the ball to, and guys that can protect him as well on the offensive line. You already got Lucas Patrick, but I expect more moves to come there in free agency and in the draft, as well as the wide receiver position. So get this kid some weapons. You got Darnell Mooney. Let's build upon that, and let's see what he can do moving forward. Speaking of weapons, maybe one has just become available. Sign Cole Beasley. Could that be an option for the Chicago Bears? Well, Cole Beasley, who's been a good slot receiver in the NFL for a long time, was released earlier today by the Buffalo Bills to clear some cap space. They obviously made a big splash yesterday by signing Von Miller, and now they have cut Cole Beasley, who is still a good player. Obviously, he was in the headlines for being very vocal against the vaccine. I'm not going to give my opinions on that, but obviously if that name rings a bell, maybe it's because of the player, maybe it's because of his vaccine stance. That's neither here nor there. The point being is, he's a good slot receiver. Now, he had a down year last year, only 1 touchdown. Some other guys emerged in Buffalo. Still had 82 catches, though, for almost 700 yards. Like, if you got that out of Cole Beasley out of the slot, I think that would be pretty productive. I think his best days are probably behind him, but I think he's a guy that can catch 60 to 80 balls and have 600 to 800 yards. Like, I think that's what you would want out of a guy like Cole Beasley. He's a good slot receiver, good route runner out of the slot. He's not a guy that's going to, stretch the field by any means, but you want those safety valves for your quarterback. I think Cole Kmet can be that guy with some vertical stretching ability, and I think Beasley can be a third down type of target as well. So we'll see. I'll be curious to see what his market is as he's into his 30s now, but this has been one of the better slot receivers over the past 5 to 7 seasons. Would you sign Cole Beasley? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Let me know what you guys think on this one down in the comments, and let me know down there. Again, we will continue to keep you guys in the loop with everything surrounding the Chicago Bears. By the way, obviously we didn't have a live show on Tuesday with everything being in flux. The plan for now is to go live tomorrow on Friday. We'll see on a time. I'll plug that on my social media and here on the channel, the community tab, so subscribe and check that out. If the Bears make a big move today, we'll go live for that as well. But if no major move comes, plan is to go live tomorrow regardless, so you guys can hop on, ask me your questions, and do that normal stuff that we would on a Tuesday live show. So subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you know exactly when we go live.